What's going on YouTube? We are back with another video, and since you guys loved that King of the Hill top 10, I decided let's bring another one back. Today we are doing a conference, and it is the best conference in all of college football. No, not the SEC, but the Big Ten. And we are not only going to do this year's Big Ten, we are going to do next year's Big Ten, which includes Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and USC, so it makes it way more interesting than just having Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan at the top dominating. So we're going to throw all of the current Big Ten plus those new teams into the King of the Hill, where we will start off with Ohio State at the top because they are the highest ranked Big Ten team right now. And then we'll have that followed by Michigan, Penn State, Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA, Minnesota, Iowa, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Maryland, Northwestern, Purdue, Illinois, Indiana, and the worst team in the Big Ten, in absolute shambles, Michigan State. If you guys don't know how this works, the number one team starts at the top of the hill. Everybody else is in a line behind them. They get a chance to beat them in their home stadium. If they lose, they head to the back of the line. Next team's up. If you win a game, you get a point. If you lose, you head back to the bottom of the mountain, and you got to climb back up. So let's hop in. Ohio State will be taking on Michigan in our first matchup. First to 10 wins. Let's go. It looks like Michigan has came to play on the road, up 24-7 at the half. Ohio State's got to bounce back, or they're going to get knocked off the hill on the first game. Ohio State brought it all the way back, 42-38. That is crazy. Let's go check out the game stats, see how they did it. Scoring summary: they put up 14 unanswered in the third quarter, followed by a 21-point fourth quarter to get the dub over Michigan, outscoring them 35-14 in the second half. What an absolute sell by the Michigan team. 5 touchdowns total in the fourth quarter by the two teams, and 5 total touchdowns by Ohio State in the second half. What a half by Ohio State. They pick up the dub. They will host Penn State now. For some reason, my recording was not on. Penn State beat Ohio State. Ohio State had one shot left on the last play of the game from the 50-yard line, and it just got knocked down. Ohio State was leading 10-7 at the half, and then Penn State came back in that fourth quarter, 14 unanswered points. Sorry you guys didn't get to see it. I don't know why my recording wasn't on, but Penn State will now host Washington as they picked up their first point. They are now tied for first with Ohio State with 1 point. Let's see who's going to win this next one. Penn State hosting their first game, and they lead Washington by 14 at the half. Let's see if they can be the first team to get to 2 points. Washington came all the way back and tied it up, but Penn State's got the ball on the 5-yard line. Second and goal, they're going to hand it off to Nick Singleton for a 1-yard gain, and they will have a third and goal where they're going to settle for the field goal, and if they make it, they are going to win, get their second point, and they will be hosting Oregon in the next matchup. The kick is up, and it is good. Penn State wins again. They take on Oregon now. Washington has to go to the back of the line. At half, we're all square at 7. Not much offense, but I'll see who's going to come out in the second half and take over. Penn State is ready to make a run in this one. They're going to win their third straight game against pretty good opponents. They're going to get their third point, as Oregon will have to head to the back of the line, and Penn State will now host Caleb Williams and USC. This might be the end of the little run by Penn State as they trail 27-6 at the half against Caleb Williams and USC. Let's see if they can make a comeback, or USC might be starting their run right here. USC dominated this game from start to finish, 41-6. Embarrassing loss by Penn State, but they did pick up 3 points. USC's going to pick up their first point, and now they will host their rivals UCLA in this next matchup. USC leads again by a decent amount at half, 14-3 over UCLA. This computer USC defense is a lot better than it is in real life. Let's see how this second half's going to go. UCLA's battled back, but they're going to need a miracle. They got to get this onside kick and a touchdown in 15 seconds. But USC is going to get the onside kick, and they will pick up their second point and continue on their run as they will be taking on Minnesota. We are heading to the back half of the Big Ten, so USC could rattle off 8 straight here and win this video early, but one team's going to need to upset them if we want this video to go long. Minnesota's offense is not very good in real life, so I'm not surprised they have 0 points, but they have held USC to 10 points. They are in striking distance, but it's not looking great for Minnesota's offense. Let's see what will happen in this second half. Minnesota tried to give it a run late in the fourth quarter. They actually had more yards than USC, but doesn't matter how many yards you have if you can't score. USC is going to pick up another dub, tying them with Penn State at 3 wins. And now USC will host Iowa. Then we've got Rutgers, Wisconsin, Nebraska in the next 3. So one of these teams is going to have to upset USC and stop their run. They could go on 10 straight right here to win this video. You better watch out. Another great half of football by USC. It is not looking like anyone wants to try to stop them as Iowa. 7 points, that is a lot for them in one half, but you can't be letting up 24 if you're only going to score 7. But you never know. There is the second half of football. Let's see what's going to happen. More of the same in the second half as USC puts up 44 on Iowa's head. They win by 37, and they advance to the next game where they will be taking on Rutgers at home. They pick up their 4th win in a row. Is anyone going to stop USC? Let's find out. Another dominant USC first half, 28-7 over Rutgers. I think this game might have them a little bit overrated compared to how good they are in real life. I get they might beat these teams, but they are demolishing them, and USC's defense is not good in real life, and they're holding teams to under 10 points. But see what Rutgers can do in the second half. One of these teams is going to have to upset USC, or this is going to be a very short video. 63-7, 600 yards by USC. Absolute domination in this game over Rutgers, sending Rutgers to the back of the line, and USC will now take on Wisconsin, probably their biggest test other than UCLA. So let's see what they're going to do. 21-0 at the half over Wisconsin. I thought Wisconsin could have a chance to pull off the upset, but it's not looking great. Let's see what will happen in the second half. Absolute domination by USC as they're going to pick up their 6th win in a row, and now they are only 4 wins away from winning this video with a 31-7 W over Wisconsin. One of these teams has got to do it. We've got Nebraska up next. Let's see what they can do. It looks like USC is going to take it to 3 wins till they win this whole thing, because at half they're already up 24-0 over Nebraska, and they are dominating each and every single one of these games as they're going to win this one 31-0. Nebraska not even close to scoring a point. USC 3 wins away. They've got Maryland, Northwestern, and Purdue, the only teams standing in their way. It is not looking good for the Big Ten. It looks like the new USC Trojans are going to take this one, barring a big-time upset. Another team scoreless at half against USC, 16-0. There's always a second half, but it never seems to happen in the second half. Maryland's got a good offense. They just aren't putting points up on the board. Let's see what will happen in the second half. Another team only putting up 7 points. This USC defense has been dominant. If they had this type of defense in real life, they'd have a chance at winning the national championship, but it's nothing like this in real life. But USC gets another dub, and they are only 2 wins away as they've got Northwestern and Purdue in their next 2 games. It is all but over at this point. It doesn't look like anyone's going to stop them. Let's see what's going to happen. Northwestern's held them scoreless in the first quarter, but 28 unanswered in the second. to put them up by 28 at the half. It is not looking good for these bottom tier Big Ten teams as they're facing USC, and USC is built different in this game as USC is going to get their 9th straight dub, and the only team standing in front of USC winning this Big Ten video is Purdue. Let's see what they can do. You never know what could happen. It looks like this one is going to be another dominant win by USC, meaning they picked up their 10th win of the video, meaning they are going to be crowned the king of the hill of the Big Ten. But since this is a short video, I've decided we're just going to throw together a nice little 8-team new Big Ten tournament of all the good teams in the Big Ten. So we're going to take the 4 new teams in the Big Ten, USC, Washington, Oregon, and UCLA, and then we're going to take Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Maryland, and we're going to make an 8-team tournament. First, we're going to have USC versus Penn State, and then we will have Washington and Michigan. The winner of those 2 teams will play, and then we will have Oregon and Ohio State play, and UCLA and Maryland play. The winner of those 2 games will play each other, and then the winner of those next 2 games will face off in this little tournament that I make to make this video longer and more entertaining since USC really dominated. Let's hop in. We're going to have USC versus Penn State in this first game, and we'll play all of these games on a neutral site field. USC is even dominating in this tournament, 28-3 over Penn State at half. See what's going to happen in the second half. USC looks like they're going to advance to play the winner of Washington and Michigan, but you never know. Yelp, USC destroyed Penn State 45-9. Not even close, but we will have Washington taking on Michigan, and the winner will take on USC. Let's see what's going to happen in that one. This is shaping up to be a good one. Michigan and Washington, very, very close one. Washington leads by 2 at half. Let's see what's going to happen in this second half. It looks like Washington is going to squeak this one out over Michigan, meaning the new Big Ten teams are now 2-0 in this 8-man tournament. And now we will have Oregon and Ohio State as Washington picks up the dub, and they'll take on USC in the next round. The new Big Ten teams are playing incredible against the current Big Ten teams as Oregon is up 14-6 over Ohio State. Let's see if they can come back in the second half and advance to the semifinals. Oregon absolutely dominated Ohio State. They didn't even get a single touchdown all game. Oregon 28-6. And now the new Big Ten teams that are coming next year are 3-0 in this little mini tournament to cap off this video. So Oregon's going to be going on to the next round, and they'll take on either UCLA or Maryland. Let's see who is going to win that one. Another great showing for the new Big Ten teams as UCLA leads by 14 over Maryland. This Final Four might just be all Pac-12 teams that are coming to the Big Ten. Let's see what's going to happen in the second half. Maryland tried their best in the second half, but UCLA is going to pick up the dub, meaning they'll take on Oregon, and we'll have an all Pac-12 semifinals in a Big Ten tournament. We're going to have USC versus Washington, and we are going to have Oregon versus UCLA. Let's see who's going to win these matchups. Washington trying their best to be the first team in this whole entire video to beat USC, but USC has just been unstoppable, leading by 10 at the half. Let's see what happens in the second half. Washington has fought back, making it a 3-point game, but they need this onside kick to keep this game going, and they're almost gonna get it, but Brendan Rice, the son of Jerry Rice, picks it up, and USC is gonna squeak out of here. 1 game remaining before they go undefeated in this whole entire video. That would be unbelievable, as Oregon will be taking on UCLA to see who's going to be taking on USC. This is a bit unexpected. UCLA actually leads Oregon by 6 at the half. Let's see who's going to be taking on USC. UCLA played USC earlier and got smoked, so Let's see if they can get their vengeance if they play them again, or is Oregon going to get the dub? The second half was a defensive battle, but UCLA is going to pull off the big-time dub over Oregon, meaning they will get their rematch against USC in the championship of this mini tournament. Let's see how it's going to go. USC, UCLA. UCLA was leading 14-0 after the first quarter, and then USC went on a tear in the second quarter. 21-0 run. So UCLA's got to bounce back in the second half if they want to knock off USC, or is USC just going to dominate this whole entire video from beginning to finish? Let's find out. We might as well have called this the USC Trojans domination video, because USC won every single game that they played in this video. Sorry there wasn't more parody in this video, boys, but I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what other videos you would like to see. I think my next video is going to be a 126 team tournament to see who would come out on top if I put every single team in the game in one tournament. Let me know if you guys would watch that. Like, subscribe. We are on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Peace.